You are the hero of the story. And like every hero, there comes a moment when something inside your life feels stuck. You might be experiencing that quiet, insidious sensation right now. The knowledge that you're doing everything right, the meticulous budgeting, the endless studying, the demanding extra hours. Yet money keeps slipping through cracks. Prosperity always seems one step ahead, perpetually hiding behind the next corner, while you remain trapped in energy you can feel but cannot quite explain. This isn't just about spreadsheets. It's a deep, emotional tension that settles in the pit of your stomach when you check your balance. Think about it. You've been rigorously following the traditional rules. You've internalized a hustle culture dogma that success equals sacrifice, and you believe that if you just push harder, work longer, and analyze the market more thoroughly, the universe will finally reward your relentless effort. But there's a painful, persistent whisper telling you that effort alone is simply not enough. This truth is confirmed when you look around, and the contrast is glaring. You see individuals who appear less frantically driven, perhaps even less financially literate by conventional metrics, who are thriving. They seem to attract opportunity effortlessly, gliding through life on a current you can't locate, leaving you standing on the shore bewildered. This dissonance creates a toxic cocktail of frustration and self-doubt. You start asking the devastating questions that erode your confidence. What is fundamentally wrong with me? Am I intrinsically incapable of building sustainable wealth? Let me stop you right there. Nothing is wrong with you. Absolutely nothing. The tension you feel is not a failure of character or intelligence. It is a failure of instruction. You were given a map to the destination, but you were never given the keys to the vehicle. Here is the truth no one teaches you in traditional schooling or even in most business seminars. Money doesn't respond only to effort. It responds profoundly to magnetism, an internal, invisible force that rises from your emotional vibration, not solely from the number of hours you dedicate to work. The problem is that your conditioning trained you primarily to pursue, to struggle, to push, and to chase. You were trained to be a hunter, constantly in scarcity, never realizing you could instead cultivate the energy of a magnet. The struggle deepens because you recognize the energy of scarcity swirling around you, that familiar knot of anxiety when the bill arrives, the instant mental calculation potential loss before contemplating gain, the quiet shame that compels you to hide your financial reality from those closest to you. That emotional residue is a powerful repellent, operating on a frequency that pushes prosperity away. It is the energetic field inside you that has never been consciously awakened, or perhaps it has been actively suppressed by years of fear-based cultural and familial programming. The turning point, the true initiation for the hero in this journey, comes when you finally understand that this magnetism is not abstract or mystical. It is concrete emotional science. It is a sophisticated ability to align your thought, your feeling, and your deliberate action in one coherent, powerful direction. When this alignment occurs, your internal frequency becomes so clear and so powerful that the universe doesn't need to be chased. It naturally moves toward you. Opportunities, critical synchronicities, powerful new ideas, and the right influential people suddenly appear. Doors you never noticed before begin to unlock effortlessly. In this transformative video, we are going to uncover the foundational truths about wealth that conventional wisdom ignores. We are not going to start with budgeting tips yet. We are going to excavate the roots of your current financial identity. We will learn precisely how to release the sticky energy of scarcity, how to activate the magnetic field of true worthiness, and how to shift your internal frequency to become a natural, effortless attractor of money. You are about to discover powerful techniques to reorganize the way your mind perceives wealth, creating an energetic flow that transforms your financial reality from the inside out. Prepare yourself, because when that profound shift happens, one remarkable truth becomes crystal clear. It was never the world outside blocking you. It was your vibration, waiting silently to be awakened. Now it will be Part 1, Internal Conflict with Money. Let us begin by honoring the weight you have been carrying. Before we can magnetize, we must acknowledge the invisible chains of financial shame and fear that bind so many talented, driven people. If I asked you right now to describe your relationship with money, what three words would jump immediately to mind? For many, the answers are stress, avoidance, and guilt. These aren't just thoughts. They are deeply felt emotions stored in your nervous system. That feeling of physical tightness in your chest when you open an email from the bank, that procrastination around looking at your balance, that is a visceral evidence of a wounded financial relationship. This conflict is often rooted in a simple but devastating equation. We equate our net worth with our self-worth. When the bank account dips, the unconscious voice whispers, "You are failing. You are not enough." This belief triggers a powerful defense mechanism, the need to hide, to minimize, or overspend impulsively to prove to yourself and the world that everything is fine. We feel guilt when we spend money on ourselves and fear when we try to save it, convinced that something will inevitably require us to use those savings immediately. This push-pull dynamic creates energetic chaos. Think of money not as paper, but as flowing energy. If your emotional relationship with that energy is fraught with judgment, resentment, or anxiety, the energy hesitates to enter your field. And when it does, it passes through rapidly, unable to settle. The core of this internal conflict is the fear of not being safe. You believe that your financial stability is external, dependent on the job, the market, or luck. True financial self-mastery begins when you realize your stability is internal, rooted in your capacity to adapt, learn, and attract. We must validate this pain, because suppression is where scarcity thrives. Acknowledge the fear, the shame, and the judgment you harbor towards your own financial past. This acknowledgement is not resignation. It is the first necessary step toward radical acceptance and emotional integration. You cannot heal what you refuse to look at, and you cannot attract abundance while actively repelling yourself. Part 2, Awareness and Belief System. Now that we have honored the present emotional conflict, we must turn our attention to its source. Every person walking this earth carries a financial blueprint or a money story inherited from childhood. You did not invent your current financial struggles. You inherited them. Picture your mind as a sophisticated computer program. The core operating system, the rules about money, success, and deservingness, was installed between the ages of 3 and 12, primarily by watching and listening to your primary caregivers and your surrounding culture. Think back to those moments. What was a recurring narrative? Was money a source of tension, constantly discussed in hushed, anxious tones? Did you hear phrases like, "We can't afford that," "Money is the root of all evil," or "You have to work yourself to exhaustion to earn a single dollar"? If your parents struggled, you unconsciously absorbed the energy of struggle, teaching your subconscious mind that wealth is inherently difficult, dangerous, or scarce. If your parents were wealthy but emotionally absent, you might have created the belief that money equals isolation, triggering a subconscious self-sabotage mechanism to prevent yourself from becoming that kind of person. This is critical. Your current financial reality is a perfect, logical manifestation of your deeply held, often unconscious beliefs. The tension you feel when money is tight is not the money itself. It is the friction between what you consciously desire, abundance, and what your subconscious is programmed to accept, scarcity. You must become an anthropologist of your own mind. Start observing these inherited stories. When you feel anxiety about a large purchase, ask yourself, whose voice is that? Is this my true feeling, or the echo of a limiting belief installed decades ago? Understanding this legacy grants you immense power, because once you identify the program, you can begin the process of deliberate, compassionate reprogramming. Part 3, Breaking Financial Myths. The time has come to take the limiting beliefs we have identified and consciously dismantle them, replacing outdated code with empowering, generative truths. Our inherited financial blueprint is saturated with corrosive myths that actively block magnetic flow. Let's tackle 3 of the most pervasive. Myth number 1. Wealth requires intense sacrifice and struggle. This perpetuates a belief that ease and money are mutually exclusive. We internalize that anything earned easily is somehow illegitimate or less worthy. The truth: prosperity flows most naturally through joy, inspiration, and aligned action, not pain. The highest earned potentials often come from leveraging unique gifts and systems, allowing for exponential growth, not linear struggle. Claim this truth. My financial success can be easy, joyful, and sustainable. Myth number 2, money changes people for the worse. I must remain modest/poor to be good. This myth links morality directly to poverty, creating an ethical ceiling on your earning potential. Your subconscious mind will protect your self-image as a good person by keeping you financially limited. The truth: money amplifies who you already are. If you are generous, wealth allows you to be exponentially more generous. If you are purposeful, wealth fuels that purpose globally. Claim this truth. I use my prosperity as a force for good in the world, and my wealth enhances my integrity. Myth number 3, there is not enough money, and I must compete fiercely for my share. This is a scarcity trap, forcing you into a constant state of comparison and fear. The truth: wealth is infinite and constantly being created through innovation, value exchange, and human ingenuity. Your success does not diminish anyone else's. It can inspire and open doors for others. Claim this truth. I live in a universe of endless abundance, and I contribute to and draw from that unlimited flow. Repetition is the language of the subconscious. Write these truths down, speak them aloud, and feel the physical relief in your body as you reject the old, heavy narratives. This is not surface-level affirmation. It is neurological reprogramming, requiring emotional conviction to overwrite the inherited tape. Part 4, shifting mindset through action. Mindset is not a passive state. It is a practiced discipline. We bridge the gap between awareness and attraction by implementing small, powerful actions that signal to the subconscious mind that we are safe, worthy, and capable of holding wealth. One of the most potent tools for activating financial magnetism is conscious financial gratitude. Most people only practice gratitude for non-monetary things. You must intentionally integrate money into your gratitude practice. Every morning, take a moment to acknowledge not just the large sums, but the small, quiet ways money supports you. The roof over your head, the coffee in your mug, the electricity powering your devices. This practice shifts you from focusing on what is missing, scarcity, to appreciating what is currently in flow, abundance. Another powerful action is the conscious handling of money. When you pay a bill, do not pay it with resentment or sadness. Pay it with dignity and gratitude, recognizing the value exchange that the money facilitates. Say, "Thank you for the shelter this provides," or "I am grateful for the seamless internet connection this payment maintains." This transforms transactions from painful obligations into acts of acknowledgement and flow. Furthermore, cultivate the habit of consciously spending 10% of your discretionary income on things that genuinely bring you joy and elevate your experience of life. This is not reckless spending. It is an act of self-worthiness, teaching your nervous system that receiving is safe and that you deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor now, not just in some distant future. This combination of gratitude, conscious spending, and respectful exchange creates immediate energetic coherence. When you treat the money you currently have with respect and appreciation, you generate the magnetic field required to attract more, because you signal readiness to receive and stewardship over the resources entrusted to you. Part 5, Empowerment and Identity. We have addressed the conflict, traced the roots, broken the myths, and engaged in conscious action. The final, most powerful step is claiming your new financial identity. You are no longer the struggling pursuer, the guilt-ridden spender, or the scared saver. You are stepping into the identity of the financial self-master, a conscious steward who attracts and manages prosperity with ease, purpose, and ethical maturity. This is about internal congruence. Ask yourself, if I were already operating from a place of secure, unlimited abundance, how would I carry myself today? How would I speak about my future? How would I treat my existing money? The identity shift is not performative. It is realizing that the secure, wealthy person you aspire to be already exists within you. We must connect prosperity to a deeper purpose. True abundance is not just about accumulating zeros. It's about having the freedom and resources to contribute your highest gifts to the world. When you link your financial goals to your passion, your mission, or your desire to uplift others, the magnetic pull becomes exponentially stronger. The universe responds not just to your need, but to the value you intend to create. The new identity embraces emotional maturity. A financial self-master does not panic during market fluctuations. They analyze, adjust, and trust their foundational capacity. They do not compare their journey to others. They recognize their unique timeline and focus on their internal growth metrics. They understand that money is merely a resource, a powerful tool, and they wield it responsibly, ethically, and joyfully. This identity shift requires daily intentionality. Speak of your finances using empowering language. Celebrate small wins, the bills paid, the unexpected opportunities, the smart decisions. By consistently embodying this confident, magnetic identity, you solidify the emotional science that guarantees continuous financial flow. Part 6. Reprogramming and Commitment. We conclude this transformative journey by setting an unbreakable commitment to your new magnetic frequency. Transformation is not a one-time event. It is a consistent practice of choosing worthiness over worry. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep, centering breath, and allow your body to relax. Visualize a powerful, golden energy radiating from the center of your chest, your magnetic core. This energy is calm, steady, and infinitely abundant. See this energy extending outward, gently touching every area of your life. Feel the ease with which opportunities are drawn toward you, not through frantic effort, but through alignment. See a clear, organized flow of money entering your life, not just through your primary income stream, but through unexpected sources, ideas, and synchronicities. This flow is stable, nurturing, and secure. Now, silently repeat this core affirmation, allowing the feeling to sink deep into your bones. I am a worthy, powerful, and conscious attractor of wealth. I manage my resources with wisdom, and I multiply my prosperity with joy. I am eternally safe, and my wealth creates positive impact in the world. This commitment requires emotional maintenance. Every time scarcity whispers a doubt, gently redirect your focus back to this feeling of magnetic certainty. Commit to honoring the money you have, practicing financial gratitude daily, and consistently embodying the identity of the person you know you are meant to be. This journey is now yours. You have awakened the energetic field. The struggle is over. The flow begins now. Step forward as a hero who claimed their true inheritance, boundless abundance and financial self-mastery. The integration of this newfound magnetic identity necessitates a profound discipline, the rigorous establishment of energetic and financial boundaries. As your vibration rises and opportunities multiply, so too will the external pressures on your time, your focus, and your resources. Consequently, it becomes paramount to recognize that the word no is one of the most financially potent terms in your vocabulary. It is not an act of rejection. Rather, it is an act of exquisite stewardship, reserving your most valuable assets, your energy and intellectual capital, for your highest purpose. Consider the insidious drain of well-meaning but emotionally demanding obligations or collaborative ventures that lack reciprocal value. Allowing these leaks to persist is the equivalent of trying to fill a bucket with holes. The flow may increase, but the containment fails. True financial maturity is defined by the ability to assert firm, compassionate boundaries that protect the integrity of your generating system. Building on this foundational stability, we must elevate our practical financial management beyond mere bookkeeping and into the realm of values-based allocation. While conventional advice emphasizes tracking every penny, the magnetic approach focuses on tracking the feeling and intention behind every dollar allocated. We are not just creating a budget. We are creating a conscious spending plan that mirrors our deepest values. When you direct funds toward education, for instance, you are not simply reducing a savings line. You are investing in future capacity, and that payment should be charged with the excitement of expansion. Conversely, if you allocate funds toward debt, approach it with the steady, calm intention of liberation, not the panic of obligation. This psychological infusion transforms your balance sheet from a record of restrictions into a map of your aspirations, reinforcing the internal congruence required to sustain your attractive frequency. Crucially, we must address the psychological trap often triggered by initial success, the arrival fallacy. Many believe that once a specific wealth milestone is reached, the emotional labor ceases, and life becomes perpetually effortless. This is a profound misconception. The reality is that greater wealth introduces greater complexity, new risks, sophisticated responsibilities, and deeper psychological pressures related to maintenance and legacy. Therefore, the emotional audit must become a continuous practice, not just a fix for crises. This means regularly checking in on your internal barometer. Am I still aligned with my purpose, or has the anxiety of managing the money overtaken the joy of creating it? If you find yourself obsessing over minor market fluctuations or withdrawing from purposeful action due to fear of loss, it signals a need for strategic calibration. Will you adjust your risk profile or even the velocity of your growth to match your current emotional bandwidth? Ensuring peace remains a foundation of your prosperity. Furthermore, the disciplined master of finance understands that magnetism is activated not just by receiving, but by intentionally circulating wealth. This principle extends far beyond mere charity. It is the active participation in the economic ecosystem as a source of generative flow. When you spend money deliberately, supporting ethical businesses, investing in local innovation, or commissioning the work of other creators, you're actively injecting kinetic energy back into the flow, confirming your role as a wealth accelerator, not merely a wealth accumulator. Think of this as cultivating the garden of your financial world. The healthiest gardens require active, intentional pruning and nourishment in strategic locations. This continuous, conscious circulation ensures that the energy of money remains dynamic and vibrant, preventing stagnation, and solidify your subconscious belief that you're integral to the system's health. This generative mindset moves you beyond the transactional thinking of scarcity and embeds you firmly in the transformational reality of true, self-sustaining abundance. Reflecting on this journey so far, pause for a moment to feel the subtle, yet seismic shift that has occurred within your internal landscape. We did not simply adjust a few external dials. We fundamentally rebuilt the receiver. Think of your previous relationship with money as a radio perpetually tuned between two distant, conflicting stations, one broadcasting fear, the other whispering desire, resulting in a constant, grating static of anxiety and incoherence. Every action you took, however diligent, was hampered by this energetic interference. The crucial insight we have now integrated is that true prosperity is not about boosting the volume of effort. It is about tuning the frequency of your being. This convergence of awareness, understanding the emotional history we inherited, dismantling the limiting myths that shackled us, and deliberately engaging in actions that affirm our worth, has resolved that internal static. The critical implication is that the energy you emit is no longer fractured. By choosing gratitude over resentment, by practicing conscious stewardship over avoidance, and by linking your financial aspirations to your deepest purpose, you have achieved energetic coherence. You have moved from a state of chasing a fleeting shadow to activating the magnetic core within. This shift means that you are no longer relying on brute force to push the universe into granting you success. Instead, you are structurally ready to receive the opportunities that naturally gravitate towards stability and clarity. Consider the metaphor of navigation. Before, you were desperately paddling a small boat, struggling against a relentless current generated by unconscious fears. Now, having cleared the deck of inherited debris and repaired the fundamental architecture of your beliefs, you have recognized that the vessel itself is designed to catch the powerful, invisible tides of abundance. You have raised the sail of intentional identity, and the wind, the universal flow of resources and opportunity, is now moving with you, not against you. The friction has vanished, replaced by a smooth, directional flow. This change is not just theoretical. It manifests in the subtle psychological responses you now have to financial decisions. The fear that once triggered paralysis or impulsive reaction has been replaced by the steady, calm voice of the conscious steward. This newfound mastery establishes an ethical imperative. deepening your commitment to this transformation. When financial success ceases to be an external validation and becomes, instead, the natural byproduct of internal alignment, the focus shifts entirely. Prosperity, viewed through this lens, is simply the fuel needed to manifest your unique contribution to the world, a responsibility managed with dignity and foresight. You are now stepping into the role of the architect, crafting your reality with deliberation, using the resources available to build a life not just of comfort, but of significant, meaningful impact. The emotional work of excavation and reprogramming has resulted in an unshakable inner foundation. This culmination of effort, this profound shift from a psychology of scarcity to a sovereignty of attraction, prepares you for the definitive declaration of your new financial self. It sets the stage for the final, ultimate commitment that anchors this transformative process permanently into your operating system. You are ready to transcend the old narrative of struggle and fully inhabit the powerful, abundant identity you have diligently constructed, brick by conscious brick. The necessary internal preparation is complete. All that remains is a powerful affirmation of this undeniable, permanent alignment. You are no longer preparing to be abundant. You are simply recognizing the abundance that already flows through you. We stand now at the final crest of this internal ascent. Look back, not with judgment, but with gratitude, at the path you have traversed, the dense thicket of inherited fear, the heavy burden of shame, and the frantic, ceaseless energy of the chase. You have witnessed the transformation of your financial world from a battlefield of scarcity into a calm, fertile field of possibility. This journey has revealed the deepest truth about wealth, that it is not something acquired from the harsh, external world through struggle, but something cultivated within and effortlessly expressed outward. The greatest liberation you have achieved is the understanding that you are not merely a participant in the economy. You are the source of your own magnetism. You have successfully resolved the ancient conflict between your desire for abundance and your subconscious programming for limitation. The static that once filled your financial life, that crippling sense of never enough, has been replaced by a resonant, coherent frequency. This coherence is a signature of your new identity, the conscious steward, the sovereign architect of your destiny. The implication of this synthesis is profound. When you operate from true, internal sovereignty, money ceases to be an object of anxiety and becomes, instead, a neutral mirror reflecting your clarity. The test of your transformation will no longer be how you handle a momentary gain, but how you respond to an unexpected challenge. When a financial wave hits, the market dips, an unexpected expense arises, the old self would have been plunged instantly into paralysis and panic, reverting to the fear-based programming. The new self, the magnetic master, recognizes the event as merely data, a challenge to be met with adaptability and trust in your capacity to regenerate resources. The ultimate measure of your wealth is this unshakable internal safety, the profound knowledge that even if everything external shifted, your internal capacity to generate value remains infinite. This sovereignty frees you from the tyranny of comparison. You no longer measure your success against the metrics or timelines of others, for you have anchored into a deeper rhythm, the unique flow dictated by your purpose and values. You understand that your financial evolution is an intimate dialogue between you and the universe, a continuous, unfolding story that requires presence, not perpetual pursuit. This is where the magic of effortless attraction truly manifests. In the moment of inspired action that feel like play, not work, in the connections that appear precisely when needed, and in the realization that your highest contribution is also your highest earning potential. The final commitment is simply this: to maintain the integrity of your newfound frequency. It means treating every dollar, whether a penny found on the sidewalk or a significant investment, as a vibrational messenger, handled with respect, gratitude, and clear intention. It means recognizing that the energy you invest in your emotional well-being, your rest, your joy, your ethical alignment, is the most crucial form of financial investment you can ever make, because it directly powers your magnetic field. You, the hero of this story, have completed the initiation. You have walked the fire of self-doubt and emerged not just solvent, but sovereign. The treasure you sought was never hidden in a market report or a lottery ticket. It was always residing within your capacity to feel worthy, safe, and aligned. Step forward now and allow the universe to meet the clarity of your intention. The time for struggling against the current is over. Welcome to the flow. Trust your magnetism. Your abundance is not arriving someday. It is here now, simply waiting for your unwavering consent to receive it. Live in that certainty.